Alright, and welcome to Vision F1 Series. We are here in Season 4, Round 4 at Francorchamps Belgium. A little preview of the grid, of course, and yeah, well, everybody's ready, I guess. Almost about to start the race. And the lights are turning red and off we go. And we see a decent start from most of the drivers. They keep it clean through the first corner, but Franklin is going wide there, off to his second place. He's losing a lot of positions. That's gonna be a difficult race for him. Alright, going for the first time through Eau Rouge and Radion, of course. And Horacek has the slipstream of Morali, but Fanati on his behalf has the slipstream of Horacek. Let's see who can make a move on Camel Straight right away. Horacek is going for it and Morali just have to let him go. So Horacek takes second place, very well done. But Morali hangs in so closely, and yeah, well, this fight is only starting, of course. Gal makes a move on Vanotti there and takes fourth place from Vanotti. And also in the background, I think Yit is really in a big fight for 7th position. Gal is closing in to Morali. I'm sure he wanna try to make a move before the chicane. But also Godfrey is challenging Winter there. Gal goes for the outside, but Morali outbreaks himself and hits Horacek on his rear. Gal cuts the track, but that was, yeah, he couldn't do anything else, really. Alright, the fight continues. Gal goes in again for another move on Vanotti to reclaim his position, but Horacek second at this moment in time. And yeah, we're going back on the Camel Straight again after the Radion. Vanotti has the best position to make a move at this moment in time, and he is going for a little bit of a defensive move of Gal. He's not having it, and at the same time Gal is making a move on Horacek and reclaims second position. Or was he in second place before? I think he gained already 4 positions at this moment in time. Real close racing here. Yeah. Malone is first, already a gap of 5 seconds. And then Gal is following Horacek, very close to Gal, but Vanotti is almost eating Horacek's rear wing. But we are in the corner section, of course, and this is difficult to make a move here. Of course, you want to have the slipstream on the final straight, and yeah, wait your moment maybe, because DRS is open, and yeah, after this lap we're gonna go back and see what all happened at the start. A little bit more distance between the drivers, so I think they're gonna be safe this time around. Alright, back to the start. Going on board with Luke Franklin, starting from second position. But we already saw him going wide here. And well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Losing 6 positions actually. Coming back on track, 7 positions, coming back on track at 9th position. We're gonna take a good look at him, because I'm sure he's gonna fight his way back to the top. Already challenging yet again. And Jet don't want to give this position away and outbreaks Franklin, and Franklin can start over again. And then in front of those two we see Winter. Oh, that was kind of a half move there. So I'm curious. Yeah, Godfrey really needed to make an avoiding move there. That is not what we want, but yeah, this can happen, of course. And in the meantime, Gull overtakes Fabio. Luca Vanotti, but goes wide. That's the first track invalidation there, right there. All right, one more time back to the start. All right, on board with Yit, having a decent start. Let's see. Oh, no, this is very careful from Yit. Very well done. Don't take risk in the first corner. Very. That's the way we want to see it, of course. Yeah, we already saw he was challenging Franklin on the straight. Gets overtaken here. But at the moment Franklin goes out of his slipstream. There we see him coming. Yeah, the pace difference is not that much, and we know yet of the low downforce settings, of course. Alright, Godfrey then, because Godfrey was also having a good fight. Oh, there we see the half move of the Winter. But yeah. Alright. Yeah, Christopher Godfrey has to deal with it. Let's see if he can come back. I think he can, because we already saw that he was challenging Winter before. And also Franklin still fighting with Yit here. And yeah, with the next straight is coming up, what will the slipstream do for these four guys? Using ERS, of course, and Franklin also have low downforce setting, I can tell right away, and he makes the move stick on Yit. And then Godfrey is not making a move, but the incident happened here in front of him. And yes, well, ooh, a big moment of oversteer there, but catches his car very well. Alright, I think he's in a good position to make a move on Winter in the Camel Straight. Let's see. He's already really close, the DRS is open. And at the same time in front of us, we also see Vanotti closing into Gull. But we stick to Godfrey a little bit more. Going for a move. I know Godfrey don't want to see the DRS overtakes, but oh my god, also Franklin makes a move on Winter. Has a lot of overspeed there. And yeah, lap 2, oh, this is really a bad move from Winter. Makes contact, causes damage on Christopher's car. And yeah, Christopher won't be happy probably with this. Alright, we're just gonna continue. Vanotti really close to Horacek. Gull still on second place. Horacek following, trying to stick into the DRS zone, but he's at the limit there. 1 second now. He really needs to do something to stay in the DRS zone of Gull. Franklin on 5th position already after he lost so many positions. That's really amazing. And then there is a little bit of a gap to Yit, but also Yit is at 6th position and gained some positions. Alright, very beautiful close racing here. Alright, we stick to this camera view because it's just simply showing the best action on track at the moment. Going for turn 1 and lap 3, and Horacek outbrakes himself and hits Fabio Gull on his rear. Gull is spinning, oh, and that cost him even 3 positions. And we gonna take another look at the incident of Horacek vs Gull. Horacek outbrakes himself, hits Gull on the rear, and Fabio is spinning. And then a big moment of lag is happening here for Horacek, unfortunately. Oh, this is not what we want to see. And he teleports back to pits or get out of the server. So Yeah, that's race over, unfortunately, for Horacek. And this is a benefit for Franklin as well. Franklin, what the hell are you doing, man? From 9th position in almost 2 laps back to 3rd position, closing into Vanotti already. But we cannot forget about Malone, because he already has 7 seconds of a gap to the number 2 Vanotti at this moment in time. Yeah, well, that must feel good for him, because he had a DNF last time around. Because of the internet issues there. So yeah, Malone probably will be pretty happy. Alright, we're gonna take a look at Yit. Yit took 4th position. Yeah, managed to pass Gull and Murali. I don't know, maybe something happened there, but we cannot cover everything, of course. But let's see if Yit can hang on to this position. Murali and Gal closing in quickly. Murali probably going for a move, and also there Diaz. Let's focus on Diaz, because he's gonna make a move on his teammate. On Winter, trying to go for the outside, but Winter is covering this off, and that's the reason why his teammate Gisbert can get really close. What will happen in turn 1 here? Gisbert, I think he's gonna play the smart game and wait for the DRS zone. And that's exactly what he's doing. He has not so good of an exit out of turn 1 and loses a little bit of a time there. Yet has a bad way of going through Radion, and Gal makes a move, but Murali has the most overspeed here. Let's see what Gal. Yeah, this is typical Gal. He doesn't want to give away the position, but this is a little bit too much. Goes wide and cuts the track, and that's why Yit can reclaim his position. Well, reclaim. Murali took 4th place at this moment in time. Very interesting fight. Let's see, because Gal is, yeah, well, always fighting with a knife between his teeth. So, oh, goes wide again. Another track limit invalidation here for Gal. And Murali is taking advantage and building a little bit of a gap. Can he get out of the DRS second? And back to the fight between Winter, Diaz and Gisbert. Unfortunately, Gisbert has dropped off a little bit, but Winter is still very close to Diaz. It's very nice to see Diaz on 7th position. He is driving a beautiful race up until now. But he has to be careful, because Winter is closing in. And in front we see still the fight going on between Yit and Gal. Gal overtook Yit, but now it's time to show more about the fight between Diaz and Winter. This is a decent gap for the DRS, ERS on the Camel Straight. Yeah, but that counts also for Yit again. I'm wondering what he's doing, but yeah, no, this big gap is getting too big. Let's go for Yit. No, he is also too late to make a move on Gal. Alright, then back to Franklin. Franklin is in a deep fight with Vanotti. He didn't manage to get past up until now, but yeah, let's see if he can change that. Yet is again real close. Yeah. Franklin is dropping out a little bit at the moment, but Yit is very close to Fabio Gal. Alright, we're gonna have to wait until the to the long straight, I think, because yeah, this is a little bit too much of a distance. Back to Franklin, because now he closed into Vanotti. lap 6, and we didn't skip so much, but I can tell you already later the gaps between the cars will be a lot bigger, so let's focus on this moment a little bit more. A 6/10 of a second in between Franklin and Vanotti. Did Franklin saved a little bit of ERS, and can he make a move now? He's closing in, having the slipstream, the ERS and the DRS, and yes, actually he's making a move and goes round the outside, and very clean driving from both of the drivers. This is what we want to see. Ooh, Vanotti almost goes on the gravel, but yeah, he keeps his car on the track. Alright, Winter very close to Diaz again. These fights are going on for a long time already. Yeah, we are in the corner. Oh, Diaz locks up, and Winter has to make a little bit of a wide corner to avoid contact. But, oh yes, again, he's closing in really fast here. It would be nice to see him move on some other parts of track, yeah, instead of all the DRS overtakes. But yeah, I mentioned this before in previous seasons. I actually don't like the DRS at all. That forces everybody. Oh, and a move is coming on. Very well done. Already past Diaz before the middle of this full throttle piece of track. But yeah, of course, Diaz will have the benefit of the DRS again. Alright, back to the story. Yeah, I would love to see yeah, F1 without DRS at all, because then you will see a lot of more battles in the corner sections. But yeah, for now it is what it is. Diaz having the slipstream, the DRS and the overspeed, and makes a move back at Winter. It's very nice to see Diaz fighting. Oh, goes wide here in turn 8 and goes over the curbstones, and this compromises the next corner properly. No, he keeps his car well in between the white lines. Alright, that's good driving there. A little wide through this corner, but also Winter. These guys are matched very well to have a proper fight on track. And this is for 7th position. Alright, we go through the order a little bit. Malone on 1st place, Franklin second on 10 seconds already after lap 8, and Vanotti yeah, still close to Franklin, but not in the DRS zone anymore. So yeah, this is the moment for Franklin that he wants to build a gap and cover the DRS second from Vanotti. Morali on 4th place, 7.7 seconds from Vanotti, and then closely followed by Gal, but also Gal is not in the DRS window anymore. Then Yit on 6th position, 3 seconds behind Gal, so there's a big gap also. Winter on 7th position, and then Diaz. We have to stick with Diaz because Winter overtook Diaz again. And yeah, well, it's Diaz's turn again, I believe. He's very close. Yeah, this is a proper move. I think these guys are gonna switch positions a little bit more, but Diaz goes wide. Oh, no, Diaz. We're gonna take a look back at this situation. Diaz making a move, but outbrakes himself a little bit, goes over the curbs here, so his corner is compromised, but keeps it perfectly within the track limits, but then goes over the curbs here too much and loses his car, and this is a spin, and this forces Diaz to, yeah, get out of the fight with Winter, unfortunately. Back through the order, because that only will be fair. Thomason is on 9th position at the moment. I think something happened to Gisbert, but Gisbert is still really close to Thomason, but went wide in turn 8, and that's gonna cost him some time. Yeah. Hey, and then what are we seeing here? Horacek is back on track for some reason, and this is really a big no-no. He was out of the race and he rejoined the race, and we really don't want to see this. And I can explain why. Because yeah, well, you can influence the race for other drivers while you shouldn't be on track at all anymore, and he is gonna do it in the end. I already saw the end of the race having a fight with Winter, but that all wouldn't be possible when you're out of the race. So yeah, I know Horacek is new this season. He has great potential and he's really motivated and really disappointed about his race as well. But we have to be honest, you cannot rejoin after leaving the race for whatever reason. So yeah, we're not gonna give him attention anymore because he simply is out. Then at 12th position, Godfrey, and at the same time Diaz is making a pit stop. Yeah, I think we missed a moment from Godfrey, but he had a collision with the wall after I don't know, turn something. But we missed it, so I can say whatever corner I like. But alright, took a lot of time out of him. So let's hope that he already made a pit stop, maybe? No, that's a little soon. But Diaz went to the pits, so the pit stops are coming. Okay, and now we're gonna skip a couple of laps because the action is pretty much over for now. Alright, we skip to lap 11, and actually for these guys it's still lap 10. Coming up to the chicane, Gal really close to Morali. They ended up to have a proper fight, and Gal breaks himself and again cuts track here. Yeah, I don't know what the real penalty is doing here, to be honest, but I have seen Gal yeah, going wide a couple of times and also cutting the chicane a couple of times. So yeah, maybe I have to check that later, but alright, well, he made the best out of a bad situation, I have to give him that. Alright, closing into Morali, 7/10 of a second, that's a little bit too much to make a move this time around, so again we're gonna skip a little bit. One lap later, at the end of lap 11 for these guys, this time Fabio Gal sticks behind and taking the DRS from Morali, his own teammate, MG Racing Team. Alright, yeah, going for the long straight, and he's really close, so I expect him to make a move this time. And again, it's a DRS pass, but yeah, well, a pass is a pass. It's important for the race standings and or how do you say this, for the leaderboard. So yeah, Morali goes. No, sorry, we just made a move on the inside, perfectly executed. Yeah, and maybe we see the same situations between Fabio Gal and Adi Morali, like we saw with Winter and Diaz, switching positions, waiting for the DRS, but in the end they make the lap times better for each other if they work together like this. And yeah, as I already mentioned, they are teammates, but yeah, I have the idea that Gal has a little bit of a better pace, and now it's the first time he is in front. What is the difference? Yeah, he's out of the DRS window of Fabio Gal, but comes back into it using ERS probably. So still there is a chance to hang into this fight for Adi Morali. Alright, we skip a couple of laps later. Adi Morali still chasing Fabio Gall, but couldn't overtake him, but he hanged in. Oh! And a big crash here for Fabio Gall. Loses his car, a snap of oversteer, what forced him into the gravel and into the wall. We're gonna take a look at this again. Fabio Gall hits the inside curb here too much, unsettles his car, tries to correct, but that forces a snap of oversteer and has a big crash with the wall. Oh, that's looking really bad. The only nice thing to see is that he's trying to continue, but trying to find his gears, and yeah, but this is too big of a crash for his car. Alright, Fabio Gall is out, unfortunately. Well, we enjoyed your fights on track. Alright, then Luke Franklin makes a pit stop in lap yeah, the start of lap 16. Comes to a standstill. Goes surprisingly to the C2 tires for only 8 or 9 laps. Oh, and breaks himself. Let's see what's happening here. Coming out of the pit a little late on the brakes, cold tires, hard tires, and then understeers into the wall. Oh man, that's gonna cost you for the last stint. Well, he was crossing the pit exit line, but in a situation like this, I think he is punished enough by entering the last stint with front wing damage. Alright, he came back on track on 4th position behind Morali, pretty close. Yeah, but Morali and also Vanotti didn't pit yet. And then the next lap, Luca Vanotti is pitting. Let's see what the difference is when Vanotti exiting the pit lane. Franklin already overtook him, and also Morali. Oh, it's really close. Keeping his track within the pit exit lines, just enough, that is. And yeah, well, let's take a look if he can take advantage of the front wing damage of Luke Franklin's. And Morali really close, but couldn't make a move anymore on the straight. Yeah, well, all tires. Oh, a moment from Franklin, well corrected there. A great car control. Alright, and we're gonna focus a little bit on Yit, because now Horacek, who shouldn't be on track anymore at all, is fighting Yit, and that is compromising Yit's lap times, and that's exactly the reason why rejoining is not allowed. Now having the dirty air for the rest of the lap, and yeah, maybe it can also be the other way around, that Yit is benefiting from Horacek if he manages to stay in the DRS zone. But all of these benefits or problems are influenced by a driver that simply shouldn't be on track anymore. You cannot influence the race after you're out. Simple as that. But look, of course I understand the disappointment, and yeah, well, it's harsh, but it happens. It happened to me last time, and you simply need to accept problems like internet issues or server issues or whatever. Alright, we are in the final lap, and yeah, Malone drove a little bit of a lonely race, but I'm sure he's happy. 14 seconds is the gap until Luke Franklin, the number 2 guy, and yeah, we're gonna witness Malone crossing the finish line here, taking a great win. Congratulations to him. And yeah, well, Luke Franklin coming to the last chicane, 2nd place, very well done, congratulations to him as well. And then, oh, something happened to Vanotti. We missed it, but he spun somewhere in the last lap. But 3rd place after all, and congratulations to him. But we're gonna take a look at Winter and Horacek, because Winter having the dirty air for a couple of laps already from a ghost driver. Yeah, well, this is simply not fair for him. But I'm sure he's thinking like that this is a fight for a proper position. So trying to go for the outside. Finally some move in another part of the track. Very beautiful move on the around the outside. Alright, Horacek, let's take a look at you, even though you don't deserve the attentions anymore. But very close. A fight until the finish line here. Having the slipstream. Yeah, and going for the inside. Yeah, oh man. And here Winter goes wide, but Horacek doesn't leave him space to come back on track. And then, yeah, the hot temper is getting the upper hand of Winter. We're gonna take a look at this again. Alright, I would have defended the inside here if I were Winter, but okay, Horacek is coming at the inside. Winter goes wide, goes off track, so what Horacek does here is actually legal, smart racing, but still Winter can make a move and he's going for it, and unfortunately he is hitting Horacek. But he will not be penalized because you cannot hit a ghost driver. So no further action there. Winter will end up, I believe, 7th if I'm correct, or the leaderboard is now not right anymore, but Horacek is out anyway. Alright, this is it for so far for this round. It was a beautiful race, especially the beginning, but yeah, well, up to the next Baku, that is. And this is gonna be a really tricky track because the walls are really close. Practice well and hope to see you all next time. Bye bye. Luca Vanotti, welcome to the interview room. Congratulations on your 3rd place, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, another podium for you. How was your race? Let's start with the qualifying first, because yeah, then we go step by step through your race.
Super stressful qualifying. Didn't get. I only got 1 lap, I think. One, or maybe I tried to do a second one because my first 3 attempts I spun like in the middle of the lap, which is the worst because you lose so much time, and I only managed to do one clean lap, and it was a slow one just to set the time and not start last, let's say.
Yeah, bank lap. Yeah, I see your time. It's a 1:43.4, and in practice you did a 1:42.6.
4:32.6.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that's a big gap, but still managed to go 4th. So reasonably, at least in the front of the pack.
Yep, better than 13th, I believe.
Exactly, exactly. How did the race start go? Because I think there was some incidents or carnage, or I don't know, but
No,
tell us about it.
it was a clean start, but at least the first 5 people, it was a clean one. Didn't have incidents. It was a okay start by my side, but it was a clean one. I exited the first corner 5th, I believe. Then I lost a little bit of time back to Horicic, I believe, because it was super quick with energy. I still have to understand how to use the energy properly in these cars.
All right.
Because I always use like balanced modes. I always use modes,
Oh,
but I believe
mate. Oh,
using
mate.
just the button is better because you have much more recharge. It was like I don't have much to say. It was quite a straightforward race. Always stuck behind stuck like following Frank, trying to follow him. It was a tiny bit quicker with C1s, but with C2s I lost ground to him more and more, and on the last lap I even spun. So
Oh, that's a pity.
yeah, quite a clear P3, but yeah, not a not an eventful race like maybe Turkey was. So
All right, not every race can be so exciting, but you were
uh,
close to Franklin a lot, and I was thinking that you could use the DRS there to keep it at the same pace as Malone. Sorry.
I could have, but I wasn't. With C1s, I had quite a bit of difficulty with in the first laps. I managed to get a hold of them like on the fifth lap. I lost too much time then. He already passed me and he already broke out of the DRS range, so it was too difficult to catch him on the straights, having quite a similar downforce. Maybe even had less than me, so it was impossible to get into the RS range. He didn't make any mistakes, so
Yeah, and if your battery is not working properly, you lose out little by little, and it's hard to get to
yeah,
stay in.
yeah.
Yeah, I understand. But still, you are third place, a podium. So congratulations again. Yeah, you already said it. Like you don't have to say much more. But if you want to add something, this is your moment.
I don't know. It was not eventful at all. This race, I don't have anything to say apart from how I drove. It was a good driving by my side, I believe. But yeah, nothing more than that.
All right. Then my last question to you. Uh, did you enjoy it? Did the car feel comfortable and like that? Like yeah, like that.
Considering I started driving this car on this track like this morning at 12 o'clock, it was a pretty good race, especially considering I'm not always quick on Spa. I usually am not fast on Spa, so it's good. It's been fun to drive. Apart from the curves, which on this track were quite bad. Not saying bad, they were hard to get right. I'm only gonna say that.
All right. At least you enjoyed it and good vibes for next race because, well, this was one of your not yeah worst race. That's not respectful the way to say it this way, but my English doesn't allow me to find another word. But at least next track
Will be
better.
much better track. I
Exactly.
really enjoy backroom.
All right, that's
I
perfect. All right, all right. Thank you very much for the interviewing and yeah, for being with us. And we see you next week. Hope you can challenge Malone
yeah, I
maybe
hope
or
so too.
Franklin. I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. See you soon, my friend.
See ya.
Bye, mate. Luke Franklin, can you hear me?
Hello, hello.
Hello. Your mic is a little bit off, I think. Can you speak again?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's not optimal. But we give it our best shot. Congratulations with your second place. Another podium for you. Can you talk us through your race? Let's start with the qualifying.
Is this better, by the way?
Sorry?
Is this better? Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, now it's better. Definitely. Yes.
Yeah, qualifying was probably as good as it got, really. Expected, yeah, around P2, P3, got P2, so yeah, happy with that. Nothing really more to say with quali, to be honest.
Yeah, 142.7, very close to your personal record, I believe. So that was
Yeah, I
very
think it might
decent.
have been a bit quicker.
Yeah, 142.6, or did you even do better?
I think I did a 142.7 then, but I think my record was like a 0.8 or something, I think.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
not, I don't know.
All right. That's very decent then. All right. How about the race start? Because yeah, uh, I think there happened something, but I'm not sure. Can you talk us through?
Well, I had a decent launch, but even with braking early, for some reason, I literally just locked both fronts and I couldn't stop the car. So it went off track a bit. Managed to rejoin safely near the back, pretty much at the back. And then, yeah, it was pretty clean all the way through, made an overtake, I think, got past someone, and I think their rear stepped out, and there was some collision behind. But other than that, just managed to fight my way back through, caught up to the P2 and P3, and I think just having decent straight line speed today, I managed to stay away from the DRS and kept a good gap, and yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a very important question actually, because you fought your way back into second. That's impressive by its own. But I noticed when you were second, with Fanotti at some point, then you had the same pace as Malone. And yeah, well, I thought this must be because of the DRS they use. But after that, then you still had the same pace. It was very impressive.
Yeah, I think definitely pace was good. Just shame about the start. Not really much I could do. Maybe I could have been somewhat closer to yourself, but I think either way, I think you were just that slight bit quicker. But yeah, and I did, to be fair, when I had my pit stop, I may have locked up and hit the wall, so I had front wing damage for
Oh,
the whole
okay.
last stint.
Yeah, when you talk about your last stint, I was really surprised you went to the C2 actually. What made you choose the C2s for the second last 8 laps?
More for whatever, either way, any tire that wasn't the C1 basically was really awful to drive. So I just chose the C2 just because I could keep it cooler, keep the tires cool, and yeah, that was the main reason. I did think about mediums. I did do practice with them, but I just went with the C2. Went for the safer option.
All right. Yeah, and the gap was quite big, so you probably thought, let's play it safe, right?
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, without knowing, literally as I came out of the pits, like I said, I hit the wall and got wing damage. So I'm kind of glad I did go for the C2, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah, that's a pity, man. But you have a big gap to the number 3 in the end. He spun, he just told us. But 14 seconds when you come from the back is really not bad at all. And it's very interesting to the standings as well, because do you know what happened now?
Am I up P2 now?
I've
Possibly.
You were on 43 points and Vanotti on 45. So yes, you took second place in the standings.
Good. Well, hopefully we can keep it there.
Oh man, come on. Don't put yourself down. Go for the first place. You can do it if you if you want to, I'm sure. But yeah, at least P2 is also good. Yeah.
We'll see, mate. We'll have to replace one of the tracks for Suzuka, and then
Now you're convinced.
if we just race around Suzuka every race, then maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, other tracks can be in your benefit as well. Did something else special happen during your race? Incidents or something you saw?
No, not really. It was pretty, I'd say, clean race, other than obviously the overtakes to get back up to P2. I think there was some nice overtakes, but most of them just using the straight line speed and battery. And to be honest, it was just quite nice, really, actually, to be in the back. It was quite scary. I was like nervous because I didn't want to obviously have any incidents with anyone, and I hadn't really raced at the back so far, so I don't know how certain people drive. So that was good fun. But no, just happy with how the race went, and hopefully maybe another P1 at some point during the season, and we'll go from there.
You told me that was your goal. So go for it, man. Or
Exactly. I've already got one, so I'll go for another.
exactly. Yeah, that's true. I forgot, but that was my internet issues.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
but
blame you that you
it
forgot.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a clean win. But
Yeah, win to win.
exactly, 100%, 100%. I'm sorry that I forgot. All
It's
right.
fine, mate. I'd forget as well if I was in your shoes. It's race
Yeah,
to
better
forget.
better
Sure.
forget quickly. Right, exactly. All right, thank you very much for being here, being with us, and I'm looking forward to the next race. Hope you feel the same.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't actually know what is is it? Oh no, it's Baku. Yeah,
Yes.
no, I'm not looking forward to it.
Okay, but it has some positives as well, because you know it's straight line speed and not medium and high speed corners at all. So you know what to do with the setup. Go as low as you can and fix the mechanical grip with the mechanical settings, of course.
Yeah, no, I look forward to it, mate.
All right, perfect. See you next time, and well, have a good weekend, mate.
Yep, you too, and yeah, see you next weekend, mate.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye bye.
All right, and last but not least, again an interview with myself, and that's always a little bit strange. So I go quickly through my qualifying and race. Qualifying was very decent, but not close to my record lap. But I managed to get the pole with a 1:42.605, so that was good. 1/10 of the number two. My race, it was a little bit lonely again. People behind me were fighting, and that caused that I was breaking the DRS pretty quickly. And from that point, I built a gap again from around 10 seconds. But I was really impressed about the pace of Franklin and Vanotti at some points in the race, because I thought they were covering my pace because of the DRS. But even when they lost DRS from each other, Luke Franklin managed to have the same pace as me for a long time, until the moment we pitted. And after the pit, of course, I was on the other tires, faster tires, so then we couldn't compare it anymore. But it's promising for next race. And I'm happy with the win. I was really dedicated to do it because of my internet issues last time. And I was getting a little bit stressed because I really want the title, of course. And this is a good. Uh, yeah, I built a little bit of a gap in the standings, so happy about that. All right, we're gonna close off. Hope you all enjoyed it, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.
I don't really have much to say. I was on my own for most of the race, so
All right.
it's good. But it's Spa, isn't it? I could just drive around here all day, so it's no complaints.
I had the best race ever up until the point when I changed tires and then my rear gave out on Puon.
Oh no, that's really bad. How many laps did you do?
Me? I did full race distance. I didn't get lapped.
But your rig was turning off. You said. Oh, what did you mean by that?
Oh, my rear let out. So when I changed tires, my rear let out, as in like when I turned into Puon, my rear wanted to keep going straight, and I just lost it.
Oh, I thought you had said your rig. Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. All right.
It's a shame because I'm starting to figure out how these cars work, because these cars have an overtake button, but it's a very useless button, I find. And just using the ERS by itself, I find.
Yeah,
makes the
I think
car
I
much
explained
quicker.
it. I tried to explain it to you, but it's also in the setup series. Then you
Yeah.
can exactly see what my setup is and why. But we had a session together. But I think you thought you wanted it better for the ERS maps or something. But
No, it was to do with I was wondering why my charge was lower than usual, despite using like overtake and stuff, and I realized that overtake isn't really that much of an efficient tool,
100%, because when you use the curse button and you put everything to the battery, then every time you release that button, it's on full recharging, and that's in the corners where you're steering and braking and everything. So that's the best way. But yeah, I'm not gonna argue when someone wants to use a different system, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I'm getting quicker, so that's a good sign, even if it was a bit different grip. But you could argue that it's a longer track, so there could be a bigger margin. So yeah, once again, race start was chaotic. I noticed some guys in front going off and stuff, including Franklin, got
Yeah,
to
I
like
was
P5,
worried about that.
I think, at one point, and then Franklin was fighting Godfrey, and then they had a tangle in the chicane, and then I hit Godfrey's rear. Tried to lift off, but there wasn't really much room. Had wing damage, kept driving. Then something must have happened because I was like dropped down into like a lower position, and then race continued. Gal had their big crash out of Stavolo. P5 thought I would be a great time to pit at that lap. Got the new tires, lost the rear, first out lap. Dropped all the way down from like 5th to really, really behind. Was really confused why. Kept fighting forward, was going up good positions, and then on the last lap, last sector, I was fighting Horacek. Fighting down all the way until like the last corner. I had full charge. He must have been like on a defensive strat. Tried going around the outside. He kept the line forcefully on the outside while I was technically off track. Tried lifting off, swooping out through back onto the track where I was supposed to be, because straight on was just grass. And then as I corrected the steering, he broke, and because of the fact that I had to swing back from the momentum, I basically had no grip. So yeah, on the last lap, last chicane, me and Horacek collided and stuff.
Oh, that's
So
bad, man. Yeah, yeah, but still, you had yeah, maybe some penalties then, but we'll see about that later.